Assalamualaikum. This is me, Jamara Khalid, and today I will be discussing about the basic concepts and issues in human development. If you say human development, it is the pattern of movement or change that begins at conception and continues through the lifespan. Human development includes growth and decline. It also can be positive or negative. We have four major principles of human development. The first principle is development is relatively orderly. That human development has two patterns. The first one is proximodistal pattern. Development proceeds from the center of the body outward. The example of it is that the muscular growth of the trunk and the arms comes earlier as compared to the hands and fingers. The second pattern is cephalocaudal pattern. Development proceeds from the head downward. During infancy, the greatest growth always occurs at the top, the head, with physical growth in size, weight, and future differentiation gradually working its way down from top to bottom. The second principle of human development. While the patterns of development is likely to be similar, the outcome of developmental process and the rate of development are likely to vary among individuals. Number 3. Development takes place gradually. And last one, number 4. Development as a process is complex because it is the product of biological, cognitive, and social-emotional process. Where biological involves changes in the individual's physical nature, cognitive involves changes in the individual's thought, intelligence, and language, while socio-emotional includes changes in the individual's relationship with other people, changes in emotions, and changes in personality. Now let's proceed to the two approaches of human development. The first one is traditional perspective, the second one is lifespan approach. If you say traditional perspective, it is a belief that individuals will show extensive change from birth to adolescence, little or no change in adulthood, and decline in late old age, while lifespan approach believes that even in adulthood, developmental change takes place as it does during childhood. Now, what are the characteristics of lifespan perspective? Number 1. Development is lifelong. It does not end in adulthood, and no development stage dominates the development. Number 2. Development is multidimensional. Development consists of biological, cognitive, and socio-emotional dimensions. Number 3. Development is plastic. Development is possible throughout the lifespan. Number 4. Development is contextual. Individuals are changing beings in a changing world. And the last one, development involves growth, maintenance, and regulation. These are the considered goals in human development that varies in every development change. Here are the principles of child development and learning. Number 1, all areas of development and learning are important. Number 2, learning and development follow sequences. Many aspects of children's learning and development follow well-documented sequences, with later abilities, skills, and knowledge building on those already acquired. Early experiences have profound effects on development and learning. Development and learning result from an interaction of maturation and experience. Number 5, children develop best when they have secure relationships. Development and learning occur in and are influenced by multiple social and cultural contexts. And number 7, children learn in a variety of ways. Play is an important vehicle for developing self-regulation as well as promoting language, cognition, and social competence. Development and learning advance when children are challenged, and children's experiences shape their motivation and approaches of learning. The core issues on human development. There are a number of important issues that have been debated throughout the history of developmental psychology. Here are some of the basic questions within the realm of developmental psychology and what many psychologists today believe about these issues. Nature versus nurture. The debate over the relative contributions of inheritance and environment usually referred to as the nature versus nurture debate. It is one of the oldest issues in both philosophy and psychology. Philosophers such as Plato and Descartes supported the idea that some ideas are inborn. On the other hand, thinkers such as John Locke argued for the concept of tabula rasa, a belief that the mind is a blank slate at birth, with experience determining our knowledge. Today, most psychologists believe that it is an interaction between these two forces that causes development. Some aspects of development are distinctly biological, such as puberty. However, the onset of puberty can be affected by environmental factors such as diet and nutrition. The second important consideration in developmental psychology involves the relative importance of early experiences versus those that occur later in life. Are we more affected by events that occur in early childhood, or do later events play an equally important role? Psychoanalytic theories tend to focus on events that occur in early childhood. According to Freud, much of a child's personality is completely established by the age of 5. If this is indeed the case, those who have experienced deprived or abusive childhoods might never adjust or develop normally. In contrast to this view, researchers have found that the influence of childhood events does not necessarily have a dominating effect over behavior throughout life. However, there is evidence that childhood adversity may correlate to greater levels of stress in adulthood. Many people with less than perfect childhoods go on to develop normally into well-adjusted adults. A third major issue in developmental psychology is that of continuity. Does change occur smoothly over time or through a series of predetermined steps? Some theories of development argue that changes are simply a matter of quantity. Children display more of certain skills as they grow older. Other theories outline a series of sequential stages in which skills emerge at certain points of development. Most theories of development fall under three broad areas. Psychoanalytic theories. Psychoanalytic theories are those influenced by the work of Sigmund Freud, who believed in the importance of the unconscious mind and childhood experiences. Freud's contribution to developmental theory was his proposal that development occurs through a series of psychosexual stages. Theorist Erik Erikson expanded upon Freud's ideas by proposing a stage theory of psychosocial development. Erikson's theory focused on conflicts that arise at different stages of development, and unlike Freud's theory, Erikson described development throughout the lifespan. Learning theories focus on how the environment impacts behavior. Important learning processes include classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and social learning. In each case, behavior is shaped by the interaction between the individual, and the environment. While cognitive theories focus on the development of mental processes, skills, and abilities. Examples of cognitive theories include Piaget's theory of cognitive development. And the last major issue on human development is the abnormal behavior versus differences. One of the biggest concerns of many parents is whether or not their child is developing normally. Developmental milestones offer guidelines for the ages at which certain skills and abilities typically emerge, but can create concern when a child falls slightly behind the norm. While developmental theories have historically focused upon deficits in behavior, focus on individual differences in development is becoming more common. Psychoanalytic theories are traditionally focused upon abnormal behavior, so developmental theories in this area tend to describe deficits in behavior. Learning theories rely more on the environment's unique impact on an individual, so individual differences are an important component of these theories. Today, psychologists look at both norms and individual differences when describing child development. And that would be all for my report about the basic concepts and issues on human development. Thank you for listening.